Hi, I'm Patrick Hancock. Today I'm going to tell you about how to use Google Books to organize your book collection, your virtual book collection, using the My Library feature. And within My Library, there's a specific ability to create new shelves. And so, much like you would organize books on an actual bookshelf by subject matter, that's the idea that we see in Google Books. So to begin the process, you just go to books.google.com, which looks like a regular search engine page, but it's specific to the world's most comprehensive index of full text books. Now, you do have to be careful with Google Books because a lot of the books that you'll see are actually partial text books. Um, any newer book you're going to be able to get a preview of, but probably not read it in its entirety. So the big value with Google Books is with older books that are in the public domain that are not subject to copyright, and those are the ones where you can really pull the full book onto your virtual bookshelf. So I'm going to show you really quick a quick Google Book search. We're going to search for Silas Marner by George Eliot. And you'll notice here that one of the books that comes up says Preview. That's actually a collection of critical essays. This one, the 1878 version, says Read. When you see that Read, you have hit the jackpot. You have found a book that can be added to your library in its entirety. It is a true full text book. All right, so we're going to go back here. We're going to click on My Library. And these are books on Google Play, which would be books you had purchased, reviewed, recently viewed, browsing history, favorites, reading now, to read, have read, and then we get down to the really interesting part, books for you, which are recommendations by Google Books, basically books that you might be interested in. I had done some searching for Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, and so that appears here. And then we get to actual bookshelves, and I have a couple bookshelves I've started. This one is called Literary Legends, so I have Frankenstein here. I have a old Spanish novel that's been translated, Don Juan by Lord Byron, Tristram Shandy, the Journal of a Plague Year by Daniel Defoe, Shakespeare's plays. So you can see that really when it comes to great works of literature, it's pretty easy to pull these older books in and find those ebooks in their full text versions. All right. So what we're going to do now is we're going to create an actual new bookshelf, and I have an actual specific topic I want to focus on today. So we're going to click New Shelf, and the name is going to be Gothic Novels. And so we are looking for basically 19th century novels of kind of that romantic era. You think of the Bronte sisters, you think of Mary Shelley, you think of Frankenstein, Dracula. Gothic novels tend to be kind of dark, disturbing, gloomy settings. So that's what we are looking for. All right. The visibility is defaulted to public. I could make it private if I wanted to. I have no reason to do that here. So we are just going to type in a really quick description, English Gothic novels of the 19th century. And we click Create Bookshelf. All right. All that's happened so far is just I have a place to put books. So we're going to go back here to the Google Books search, and we are going to type in, we'll start with Frankenstein. And I misspelled Frankenstein, nice. The first one that comes up says Read, so we can click on that one. When you click on it, it instantly goes to the book. All right. And from the book, that's not where we add it to our library. So right now, I just want to click on the X and close the book. And you see read for free. We can download PDF. We can search inside, and we can add to my library. So I click add to my library, and I'm going to click on Gothic Novels, the one I just created, and I click done. And now I scroll down to my newest bookshelf, my new bookshelf here, and I see that Frankenstein is on my Gothic Novels bookshelf. All right, we're going to add a couple other books just to build up this library. And got that added. Okay. So now we're going to search for Wuthering Heights. And again, we see one that comes up right away that says read. There's actually a couple versions you can read. And the great thing about this is you get the book in its entirety. The challenge is a lot of times the text of the book is going to be from an older kind of scanned library version. And we see that as we kind of scroll down here, that this was a book from the Boston Library Society. This book was canceled out in 1940. Looks kind of rough to wear. You can see actually Ellis Bell is listed as the author. That was Emily Bronte's pen name when this book was initially published way back in 1858. And there we have the actual book. The cool thing, you're seeing the actual pages. This one's better than a lot in that the font is easy to read. Some of the older books kind of have, I'd say, almost kind of like an archaic font. So this one is perfect for what we're looking for. So we're going to click on that X again, click on add to my library. And once again, we go to Gothic Novels, click done, and we're starting to get a collection there. We'll add one more here really quick. A more obscure title, Melmoth the Wanderer, is one of the kind of classic Gothic novels, and we see some different versions here of this one. Here's one that says read, so we're going to click on that, and again you just exit out of it and add it to my library, and again we just select Gothic Novels. It's that easy. Within a couple minutes you have kind of gone to the bookstore, the virtual bookstore, virtual library, more of a library because these books are all free, and collected books and been able to organize them on a shelf so that you can access that later. This has a lot of value for research if you're doing research on a certain topic, certain type of book. Obviously, I'm looking at novels. I'm an English teacher, but you could do this by any subject matter. Let's say I was looking at a sport, looking up a sport, and I was looking at baseball. I'd find a lot of books. I could add newer books to that bookshelf, but they're just going to be previews of those books. And then I could add older books. There would be a lot of older books from the 1800s and early 1900s on that topic that I could put into that category. So this is a great tool for building kind of a library for research or for enjoyment or for the classroom. If you're doing a specific theme in the classroom, this is a great way to go about it.